ముందుగా ప్రియమైన విద్యార్థులకు మరియు వారి తల్లిదండ్రులకు నమస్కారం. నా పేరు కె వెంకన్న జూనియర్ కాలేజ్ చైర్మన్. నేను ఈ రోజు 10th క్లాస్ విద్యార్థులను దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని మాట్లాడడం జరుగుతుంది. అది ఏమిటనగా, మనందరికీ తెలుసు, గత 2 సంవత్సరాలుగా కరోనా కారణంగా విద్యార్థులు ఎటువంటి పరీక్షలు రాయకుండానే పై తరగతులు పంపడం జరుగుతుంది. ఫలితంగా ఐఐటి జేఈ మరియు నీట్ లాంటి జాతీయ స్థాయి పరీక్షలను సాధించడం కష్టతరం అవుతుంది. దీనిని అధిగమించడానికి మరియు 10వ తరగతి పరీక్షలో అత్యధిక మార్కులు సాధించడానికి నేను మీ ముందుకు కె వెంకన్న జూనియర్ కాలేజ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ద్వారా అనుభవజ్ఞులైన అధ్యాపకులచే ఉచిత వీడియో క్లాసులు, హ్యాండ్ రిటన్ నోట్స్ మరియు గత ప్రశ్నపత్రాల సమాధానాల విశ్లేషణ ఇవ్వబడును. కాబట్టి నేను విద్యార్థులకు చెప్పదలుచుకున్నది ఏంటంటే, ఈ ఉచిత వీడియో క్లాసులను మరియు హ్యాండ్ రిటన్ నోట్స్లను క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో కూర్చొని చదువుకున్నంత సీరియస్ చదువుకోవాలను. ఇంకొకటి ఏమిటనగా, ఈ యొక్క క్లాసులు విన్న వెంటనే అర్థం చేసుకొని ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయవలను. ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయడం అంటే కేవలం చదవడం కాదు, పేపర్ మీద రాయవలను. అలాగైతే గుర్తుండిపోతుంది. దీంతో పాటు మీ యొక్క నాలెడ్జ్ ని పరీక్షించుకున్న కొరకు త్వరలో ప్రీ ఫైనల్ పరీక్షలు కూడా నిర్వహించబడు. ఈ యొక్క అవకాశాన్ని సద్వినియోగం చేసుకోవాలని 10th చదివే విద్యార్థులకు విజ్ఞప్తి చేస్తున్నాను.
Dear students, welcome back. We are learning quadratic equations, word problems. In word problems, we have covered most of the word problems which appeared in the examination. There are some problems graphically you have to solve. That kind of problems also we have to deal. So I will deal with that kind of problems after this word problem is done. This appeared in several examination papers. I am writing this problem on the board. This is a word problem which is, if a polygon of n sides has 1/2 times n minus 3 diagonals, how many sides will a polygon having 65 diagonals Is there a polygon with 50 diagonals? Is there a polygon with 50 diagonals? You must understand the question very carefully, then only you can do this problem. Let us try doing this problem. What is this problem? A polygon of n sides has 1/2 into n minus 3 diagonals. How many sides are there for a polygon having 65 diagonals? That is question number 1. Second question is, if there is number 50, then what is the number of sides? That question also is given. So we have to solve both the cases. It is an examination question which appeared in the exam. What do you mean by polygon? First of all, let us take a triangle. How many sides are there? 3 sides. How many diagonals are there? No diagonals. Take a square or rhombus or parallelogram. How many diagonals are there? 2. What is the number of sides? 4. N is equal to 4. N is equal to 3. What is the number of diagonals? Substitute 3 here. N is equal to 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 into 3 by 2. So 0 into something is 0. 0 by 2 is something which is 0. Therefore no diagonals. Diagonals is 0. Number of diagonals is 0. Suppose n equal to 4. What happens? 4 into 4 minus 3. 4 into 1. 4 by 2. So 2 diagonals. How many diagonals? 2. So if there is 4, if the number of sides is 4, the number of diagonals is 2. How do you get it? That is the figure method. This is the formula method. So there is a formula for finding the number of diagonals in any given polygon having n sides. 3 sides is called triangle, 4 sides is called quadrilateral, 5 sides is called pentagon, 6 sides is called hexagon, 7 sides septagon, 8 sides octagon, 9 sides nonagon, 10 sides decagon, 11 sides polygon having 11 sides. So, multiple names are not there. You can say that multiple sides more than 10 we call it as polygon. If you do not know the name, you can say that polygon having got 6 sides, you do not need to say. Polygon having got 5 sides is pentagon, specific name, otherwise polygon with 5 sides. So, the formula is what? What is the formula? What is the formula given? Diagonals, I write number of diagonals is equal to 1 by 2 n into n minus 3. Here the diagonals number is 65. If the number of diagonals is 65, what is the number of sides? So, first we take 65 is equal to 1 by 2 n into n minus 3. 2 comes this side, 130 is equal to n square minus 3n. So, we will write that as n square minus 3n minus 130 equal to 0. 130 is taken to right side, n square minus 3n minus 130 equal to 0. Now, we have to factorize. What are the factors for 130? Tell me. Guess. Product is 130. Is it minus 13 into 10? Correct. Minus 13 plus 10? Done. So, n square minus 13n plus 10n minus 130 equal to 0. So, you can take n as common, n minus 13 plus 10 is taken as common, n minus 13 is equal to 0. So, n minus 13 into n plus 10 equal to 0, n is equal to 13 is the correct answer, n is equal to minus 10 false answer, because the number of sides of a diagonal, the number of sides of a polygon cannot be negative. So, the first question is answered. What is the first question answer? How many sides? How many sides are there? 13 sides are there for a polygon whose number of diagonals is 65. This is done. Now, the second part is, what is the second part? Is there a polygon having 50 diagonals? That is the question. Is there a polygon? Suppose that 50 diagonals is possible, then what happens? 50 is equal to 1 by 2 into n minus 3. 100 is equal to n into n minus 3. So, n square minus 3n, n square minus 3n minus 100 equal to 0. Now, you have to think of the factors. What are the possible factors? Is it possible or not? We have to see. Number of diagonals must be a specific number. It should be a perfect square. Suppose we find ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. When we do not get any factors, we have to go by this formula method. What is b square minus 4ac? B square is minus 3 whole square minus 4 into 1 into 4ac, 1 into minus 100. So, this is minus 3 whole square is 9, minus into minus plus 409. 409, is it a perfect square or not? Just see. What is 20 square? 400. What is 21 square? 441. So, it is not a perfect square. Not a perfect square. Therefore, because it is not a perfect square, then what happens? The value of n can be a real number which is not exactly an integer like 3, 4, 5 like that. The number of diagonals is always a integer, positive integer, but here we get real numbers which are different but not exactly integers. So, when we are not getting integers as the answer, so the number of sides is not an integer, hence there is no polygon possible having 50 diagonals. Exactly 50 diagonals, there is no polygon possible. This is how we have to do the question. So I hope you must have understood this question. With this, we have almost covered all word examples, and there is one more method. Solve graphical method is also there in quadratic equations, that we will cover in our next class. So in brief, I will explain it once again. Just to see this problem, I will explain the same thing once again. Polygon, what is the number of diagonals? Memorize this as a formula, which is very useful in your future course of time. Polygon, the number of diagonals is 1 by 2 into n minus 3. Given that our polygon has 65 diagonals, what is the number of sides? Compare that number of diagonals formula with 65. Solve it. How to solve it? You can solve by any method, you know it. How to solve? What is the method to solve? You have to solve it here by factorization method, because factorization was possible. Why? 130 is the product, minus 3 is the sum. What are the two numbers to be thought of? 10 into 13, 130. 10 minus 13, minus 3. So you get minus 3n, minus 130 possible when you take minus 13 plus 10. So I have worked out. One is wrong answer, one is correct answer. Which is wrong? How do you know that it is wrong answer? Just because n equal to minus 10, number of sides cannot be negative. Number of sides cannot be negative, hence n is equal to minus 10 is a wrong answer. So we can conclude n is equal to 13, number of sides is 13. I have written here 65 diagonals, 13 sides is correct. Is there any polygon having got 50 diagonals? We have to go by the same method, and by same method if we proceed further, what is that? We got it. We got that 409 is b square minus 4ac. So do we get the discriminant value 4 square minus 4ac, which is a perfect square? No, it is not a perfect square. Hence, it cannot have a integral value as n. Hence, the question is meaningless, that a polygon having got 50 diagonals is impossible. With that, we have covered the problem. With that, we will close this part now. Let us discuss few more graphical problems in our next class. I hope you all enjoyed learning these problems. So be benefited out of these problems. Whatsoever problems I am discussing, you can make use of it. These are very, very important questions, good questions, 8-mark questions. I am writing from the beginning to the end of the board for the sake of you. It is a 8-mark question, 8 marks in 10 minutes. Out of 60, you are getting 8 marks in 10 minutes, 60 marks maximum in hot summer. If you recollect this and do it, you will be getting 8 marks. So I hope you be benefited out of this. Good luck, all of you.
Hello students, my name is R.K. Pandey. I have done my B.Tech from IIT Kanpur from electrical engineering. I teach chemistry in K. Venkana classes. I head the chemistry department. The main facility of K. Venkana classes is all the faculty are very rich in experience, and they have taught students who have secured single and double digits. They have got very good ranks in JEE and NEET. So if you are serious for your career and if you want to pursue your career in engineering or medical, you are surely welcome here. The facilities includes not only the top tier teachers, but the other facilities like doubt clearing sessions and other academic as well as personal treatment that is provided by this institute.
Welcome back students. I am Yogananda here, teaching mathematics for class 10 students. We are in quadratic equation. Now we are going to see an important chapter, important topic of quadratic equation, that is graphical solution. Solving the quadratic equation in a graphical way, or solve a quadratic equation graphically, solve by graphical method. All these things are asked in the examination. So let us see the theory behind how to solve a quadratic equation by graphical method. So for that, first look at the nature of roots of quadratic equation. What is a general quadratic equation we know, so that we can solve a quadratic equation in general form is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a comma b comma c belongs to all real numbers and a is particularly non-zero. A should not be 0, a is non-zero. If it is 0, then what happens is not a quadratic equation. So this is the condition. The roots are given by minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. There are two roots here. One root is obtained by taking plus value, the other root is obtained by taking minus value. So we have two roots, minus b plus root b square minus 4ac by 2a, minus b minus root b square minus 4ac by 2a. These roots are real or non-real basing on the discriminant. What is the discriminant? Discriminant is b square minus 4ac. It is represented by delta in some textbooks. So whenever we have b square minus 4ac value and we can find the roots or square root of b square minus 4ac, it is a perfect square or it cannot be a perfect square. If it is a perfect square, we get integral values or sometimes easy values. If it is, there are three cases here. This b square minus 4ac can be positive, this can be 0, this can be negative. If this is positive, the roots are real and different. If it is 0, the roots are real and repeated. If it is negative, the roots are non-real. No roots exist. This is the case. So try to understand the point here. If it is positive, b square minus 4ac is positive, then the roots are real and different. If it is 0, the roots are real and repeated. If it is negative, the roots are non-existing. So we don't find any real roots for the quadratic equation. We conclude that roots are non-existing. So when we draw a graph by taking y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, and for various values of x and y, for various values of x we get y and we plot a graph. The graph is always a parabola. It is a upward parabola or downward parabola. It is like the general form of a parabola is y square minus 4ax, which is symmetric on x axis, but here it is x square ax square plus bx plus c, which is symmetric on y axis. So this kind of parabola, if at all you try to draw it, it will intersect x axis at 2 points. Any parabola having b square minus 4ac greater than 0 will intersect x axis at 2 points. Those 2 points are called the solutions. The parabola may be like this, or sometimes the parabola may be like this, or sometimes may be like this, or in any way the parabola may touch x axis like this. Parabola may touch x axis at 2 points, always at 2 points. So look at this. This case covers the parabola, the curve cuts x axis at 2 points. Those 2 points are called the two solutions for the given curve. Whereas if the roots are repeated, real and repeated, what happens? The parabola cuts x axis at only 1 point like this. The parabola may touch x-axis at one point. The same thing is considered to be the repeated root, or the other case may be, the case may be like this, or the case may be like this, anything. But the parabola cuts x-axis exactly at one point, saying that it has repeated roots. But when you take the other case, the parabola will never cut x-axis. In this case, we say that the roots are non-real, or the roots are non-existing. So with that, we can see that any graphical solution of a quadratic equation is obtained provided that the curve cuts x-axis at 2 points, or at 1 point, or at no points. If it touches at 2 points, then we say that b square minus 4ac, which is otherwise called as discriminant. Discriminant is positive. If discriminant is 0, the curve, we call it curve, we do not call it as parabola now, but we call it curve. The curve cuts x-axis at only 1 point. The same point is considered to be a repeated point. It is a repeated root. But if the curve does not cut x-axis at all, then we conclude that the discriminant is negative. Or we can say in another way, discriminant is negative if and only if the curve does not cut x-axis at all. It is both implies and implied by. So the theoretical portion of quadratic equation is that ax square plus bx plus c is 0, where a is non-zero, abc belongs to R, has two real roots, whether they are different or equal, basing on the condition that the discriminant b square minus 4ac is either positive or 0. It does not have a solution at all. If at all, it has a discriminant b square minus 4ac which is negative. In that case, we conclude that, in any case, we conclude that the curve cuts x-axis at 2 points, or at 1 point, or at no points. At no points means no roots. At 1 point means repeated root. At 2 points means the 2 points are called the two real roots. So this is the theory behind working out for quadratic equations graphically. Now I will take an example and solve it graphically, and the same problem can be done even by factorization method or any other method suitable. So let me take one example. Draw the graph of the polynomial px equal to x square minus 3x plus 2. Px is equal to x square minus 3x plus 2. Draw a graph. And find roots. Like this, they may ask the question. A polynomial may be given and find the zeros of the polynomial, or sometimes this is zeros of polynomial. If you say that roots, it is a zeros of fx, px, or the same question can be asked, solve x square minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0 graphically. This is the question. We have to solve it graphically. For that, what we do is, we will consider the given problem, we will consider the given polynomial as fx or p of x, whatever is given. So in order to write the solution, just be careful to take this as y is equal to x square minus 3x plus 2. Say we will consider that y as x square minus 3x plus 2, the given polynomial. Once we take the given polynomial as y, we can substitute various values for the x. Let us take x is equal to 0. We will take x equal to 0, x is equal to 1. We will take 3 or 4 values. Y is x equal to 0, 1, x equal to 2, x is equal to 3. Then what happens to y, we will see. Y is equal to 0 square minus 3 into 0 plus 2. 0 minus 0 plus 2. So it is 2. Y is equal to 2. What is the point then? X, y is equal to 0 comma 2.